Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people. That's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Absolute pleasure to have you along. Okay, entertainment only. What am I going to have a look at in today's reading? Well, it was quite interesting because yesterday I did the 3 readings, or 4, or however many readings. I don't think it was 3 yesterday, with a couple of them being sort of low vibration, what's happening in the world at the moment type energies in regards to politics, etc. And I'm going to admit that I felt very flat. I still stand by the readings, but it was almost like my guides were just going through the motions. So, and then we had a bit of a conversation, my guides and I, later that day, in regards to those particular readings, and their answer was, that's not what you're supposed to be doing anymore, girlfriend. So let's see where this goes. It's going to be quite interesting, and I noticed the light changed as soon as I said that, even though nothing is changing. It's a sunny day outside, and let's see where it goes. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to actually do have a look at. I do want to have a look at the shutdown. Apparently Mikey of the Little Johnson is currently in his blame the Dems speech at the moment, and then the light changed again. Blame the Dems speech at the moment. They're concentrating on New York because of the election coming up in New York for the mayoral position and Mandani, and it does show that they fear him. They wouldn't be putting so much energy into trying to prevent Mandami from getting elected if they weren't afraid of him and the more moderate and progressive candidates. He was going along the usual blame the Dems, it's the Dems' fault for everything, it's the Dems, it's the Dems, it's the Dems. Never thought I'd be in bed or on the right side of history with the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene and Josh Hawley, though. Marjorie Taylor Greene is very much pointing out that it's the Republicans that are behind the shutdown, because apparently yesterday they invoked some sort of clause where they didn't need to have the 60% in the Senate to get action passed to install some of the Orange Felons nominees. So again, don't believe the spiel that Mikey of the Little Johnson is undertaking. So I've got my Trip and Wait and my Trip and Wait extras cards. So this is the deck here if you want to have a look for it. Someone said it wasn't still available, but I have seen it recently. I haven't looked today, but I have seen it recently still around. Manipulation on full exposure. This is the extras deck with the slightly more pastel colours and the brighter colours of the original. Now the extras deck seems to have an interesting variety. It's not a full deck. I didn't really look to see what they were, but it's more than just the major arcana. But yeah, the Sun card. The manipulation is on full exposure here. Now I'm just taking a lot of cards here, so I'm just poker shuffling certain segments of them and putting them back. So apparently Mike Waltz with a T in it, not to be confused with Tim Walz. Mike Waltz, who is apparently the US representative to the UN General Assembly, was promptly shut down as basically being a liar by the moderator, because he was ranting on about Cuba. So he got very firmly put in his place by the UN General Assembly moderator. Oh, I love it. And yeah, Mikey Johnson. Mikey of the Little Johnson is currently trying to offer up something that's, but the false friend, the false knight. Oh gosh, there's the Tower card. It's not going to wear. Basically, he had a couple of others with him. One of them was as a female. So we've got this Queen of Wands. It is about, for me, queens are about action, the planning of action. can be a female bringing forward a message. He did have, I believe, a female cabinet minister or whatever there. But this is, to me, this is more about the internal planning, trying to regarner or reappease those from the past, handing over the red cup. But I don't think it's going to wear. I honestly don't think they're going to pull it off, that people are falling for it. So that's what I want to have a quick look, is I'm going to, I told you, the two decks together, very fat. But let's have a look. Let's have a look. Mikey Johnson, reeking of desperation, ranting on. I think I watched about 30 seconds. He's already been going for hours from the looks of it. 30 seconds was more than enough for me. Oh, gosh. The two of cups would be something working together across the aisle. Being forced to, because then I've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Star card and the Tower card on the bottom there. So he may be forced. He may find his hand forced to actually work with the Dems to come to some sort of agreement. The Dem messaging needs to be improved desperately, but it's just interesting that it was both of the Two of Cups. We've got the Wheel of Fortune, the wheel turning, those that were on the top ending up on the bottom, things changing, progress, etc. And then we have the Best of Democracy bringing about a Tower moment. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. Just put those back randomly. Be interesting to see if any of them come through again. So tell me with how is this as we, hello Eve today. Yay! Welcome, 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 and open yourself up to allow it all through. Entertainment only. Allow the upgrades to come on through. Chat to your ancestors. They're there to guide and help. So look what just fell out again, the Two of Cups. Because what I'm thinking of is the question, not liking what's on offer, being stalled, and having to consider a new plan, and we've got a new plan here. Or it could simply be looking overseas, big stick moment for those that are connected with the orange twerp. Two of Cups fell out again. Obviously, it's being forced to work with the Dems. Looks like the Dems are going to hold the line, which is good. It's beyond the point of the Dems caving, so is my feels. Okay, let's have a look. So we're 30 days at the shutdown. What is going to happen? What's going to happen? More and more Republicans are going to be dissatisfied. I believe there was a Republican that tried to hold a town hall in a very, very red district and got absolutely told what for. So let's have a look. Just show me the future of Mikey Johnson. The future of Mikey of the Little Johnson. Mikey of the Little Johnson. What do we need to know? Okay. We've got here the first card out. The Knight of Pentacles, the false knight. The mercenary knight. The one that's holding up the money. Now, the reason why they don't want to reopen, oh, look at this. They all seem to clump together again. It's really interesting, despite poker shuffling the new in with the old. But yeah, he's holding up the money for mercenary reasons. And the reason why they're keeping Congress shut, the government shut down, is, well, first of all, the orange twerp, or those behind the orange twerp, want to rule by decree. They don't actually want Congress to have any power whatsoever. They're trying to break the power of Congress. But also, the numbers are there to release the Epstein files. Okay, so yeah, this is the mercenary prepared to hold up the money, hold up payments, etc. for mercenary reasons. Okay, the challenge being is the plotting and planning, the money behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure Mikey Johnson's getting paid, but this is the plotting and planning behind the scenes. Let me put that down, it's so fat. He is being told what to do by others. He's really been put in between a rock and a hard place, no sympathy whatsoever. He's the public facing. He is being told by others what he needs to say, what he needs to do. That's his challenge. That's his challenge. He's thrown his lot in with them and they're dictating to him what he needs to present. Okay. We've got here again at the foundation, the energy he's stewing in is the Sun card. Now, this is Krishna riding in on the elephant. Krishna is the god of bringing the truth and exposing. Now, someone pointed out that the elephant's trunk was down, which indicates things not going so well. The elephant's also the symbol of the Republican Party. So riding in on the truth of the Republican Party, and it's not going well for them. So that's the energy he's stewing in at the moment. In the past, Ten of Wands, the burden, trying desperately to get this messaging to a safe haven. Notice it's a church there, but it's just chaotic and unable to keep control of it. I'm feeling that no matter how hard they try and spin it, people aren't believing the story. You can repeat till the cows come home, and that is a trait of those like the orange twerp. If you repeat it often enough, it becomes true, whether it's true or not. But I just don't think people are going to fall for it. In the past, the chaos of trying to get this message to this safe haven, supposed safe haven, it's becoming too much. It's overreach. Okay, crowning this reading, the energy over him is the Star card, and I love the rainbow on this. Rainbows are for unity. They are for embracing diversity, and the Star is the best of democracy coming to the fore. The immediate future, the King of Cups. This is my card for we the people. I know it can be a person, was my Biden card, but I'm adamantly saying we the people in the immediate future. He's going to be forced to retreat externally. So this is the forced to retreat, forced to back down in some way because of his foolishness internally. The fool could be a new journey, but I'm feeling more of the fact of it's la 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 over the cliff, and this little dog here is barking to warn this person that they're about to head over the cliff. So that's internally for Mikey Johnson. Hopes and fears, the Ten of Swords. Now, I haven't done my nudie figures on the new cards yet, so I do apologise if I'm going to have to cover everything. Don't want to get censored, but hopes and fears. 10, 10, 10. 10 of Swords. Complete and utter, crashing down, face plant, the Swords of Truth, stabbing him in the back, undeniably. The outcome, the Two of Pentacles. Downward decline, trying to bring the ships in on this stormy sea. They're getting wrecked on the rocks. It's not going well for Mikey. Queen of Cups, trying to keep a lid on the situation, on the emotions of it. Trying to keep a lid on his emotions is what I just got. Trying to keep his emotions under control. Watching him, as I said, for that 30 seconds of however long that presser went for, he was getting pretty riled. You could almost smell the desperation through the screen of trying to spin this story that nobody's buying. And the Tower. Oh dear, how sad, never mind. the Tower card, the Hanged Man, sacrifice, stopped, hung up, and then we've got the Star again, the best of democracy coming to the fore in the face of this manipulation. Can also be the narcissist with manipulation, but I think it's more, look, 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana to end. Oh, you're not going to believe what's on the bottom. The lies fully exposed as he tries to spin this money message that it's the Dems, the smoke and mirrors, the poor choices that he's making. But as he's trying to get his messaging perhaps to calmer waters, he's just trying to get this to move forward. But the swords of truth are here. So he's cowering in amongst the swords of truth, trying to find a safe harbour, but it's not going to end well for him. And then we've got judgment. Poor old Mikey. Try as he might, he's not going to be able to bring this. People just aren't buying it. I mean, there will be an element. I always get about 17% of voters will go to their grave kissing the golden sneaker, believing anything that they've spun, basically because they've invested themselves so fully that they can't not. But I don't think people are buying what Mikey's selling. So my next question is, I want to have a look at, see how I poker shuffle them, and then yet when I shuffle, they all seem to end up in the same spot. My next question is we going to be able to bring this home? Okay, now I'm going to ask, is the government going to, are Republicans, okay, Mikey Johnson, not going to end well for him. What's my question, guys? My question will be, it is really well shuffled. My question will be, will the Dems, will Mikey lose his position of Speaker of the House? I've always got that he will. Will it get to a point where Mikey of the Little Johnson will be voted out as Speaker of the House? I would never have guessed that I would be on the same side of history as Marjorie Taylor Greene and Josh Hawley. Let's have a look. Okay, we've got the false victory in the investigation. Okay, that's probably that's telling me it's too broad a question. Okay. With Mikey of the Little Johnson as Speaker of the House, will the government reopen? Will the government reopen? Will the government reopen? Will the government reopen? Well, we've got the walking away here on the bottom. Will the government reopen? That was a quick shuffle. Thank you. The manipulation with the magician here. So who's that on the t-shirt there from Peanuts? That's very cute. I've seen that. Okay. Right, but what I am getting is that might be a peace deal across the aisle here about a coming together. Okay. Challenged by trying to bring the ships into harbour, challenged by the bigger plan. So is the government going to reopen while Mikey Johnson is Speaker of the House? So you've got the magician, can be manipulation, can be look over here while this happens over there. Challenged by trying to bring the plan to fruition. However, there's that card again that was on the bottom before, the Eight of Cups. Having to walk away. The energy he's stewing in at the moment is emotionally walking away. In the past, the truth is stabbing him in the back. He's not able to spin this line that it's the Dems' fault. There's enough of his own party coming out and saying, no, it's not. But I don't think the people are buying it. The Ten of Swords, the truth is stab by stab by stab. Every time he has a press conference and lies, it is obvious that he is lying. The Queen of Swords at the top, this could be legal action, or it could be coming up with a new strategy. The energy over him at the moment is a new strategy as he tries to spin the money story. Snap payments, I believe, go offline as of, well, it's tomorrow my time, but it'll be, 36 hours, something like that. It's Australia here. Next 2 days are my 2 days off. Even that takes me the 2 days to catch up on what happened the week before. Page of Pentacles. He might be reassessing his values in regards to this in the immediate future, because he keeps trying to spin, but the people aren't buying it. He can't, the message isn't holding. Externally, we've got judgment here. My question was, is he going to reopen government? This could also be trying to hold up the money, just glazed over, nothing but holding things up. But he is going to externally face judgment, which is actually going to take me into my next reading. And we've got here internally, a lot of messaging coming very quickly that will be transformative. So I think he's going to face a rebellion from within the own party. Hopes and fears, working hard behind the scenes. We've got the circles of support. The Fool was upside down, but I don't read upside down. It's usually just my poor shuffling. When I was doing the poker shuffling, I got one deck round the wrong way. There is these women coming together now. It was women coming together. Could be in the house here. The Fool, foolishness. Oh, he's balancing some eggs in his cup here. That's very interesting. Again, the elephant, the symbol of the Republican Party. Trying to balance the eggs in the cup, but going off the cliff. It's to do with that Queen of Pentacles. It's absolutely everything to do with household, kitchen table, financial issues. The abuse of power is being seen and witnessed, the win at any cost, absolutely uncaring of who gets hurt in the process. So the abuse of power is obvious. He's not liking what is on offer, or it's being rejected. I did ask if the government would reopen. This may be the Democrats with this, and some Republicans with the red shirt, the blue overcoat and the red shirt, may be offered but rejecting. Knight of Swords, rash actions, a harsh truth coming forward. Gift from the past with the Six of Cups. Let's see where this goes. The High Priestess, the secrets coming forward, and a crossroads moment. And then we have the military. Okay, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. One of the Wheel of Fortunes. And again, we've got that Four of Cups again, the rejection. The rejection. Okay. We've got on the bottom the voter trying to spin it. But the Five of Cups, the people just aren't going to wear aren't going to buy what he's selling. betrayal and deceit, heartbreak, loss, and then we've got that Knight of Pentacles again. We've got the narcissist trying to spin it, but it's a nightmare situation, and he's going to be suspended. An announcement from the White House, a tower moment, and the sun with Krishna bringing the truth forward. No matter what cards I put out, this is not going to end well for Mikey of the Little Johnson. He's put himself on the wrong side of government, and I'm going to grab a different deck. What deck am I after? Just use the plain old Smithwaite Tarot to ask, is the government going to reopen? Well, is the government going to reopen before events overtake? Is the government going to reopen before Mikey Johnson is... might not. Please, it is time to really... I mean, you've got government workers that aren't getting paid and they've lost their SNAP payments. It's time to look at other options. I know it's easy for me sitting in my cushy little seat in Australia to say it's time to connect into your community, but really, 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 it is time to reach out and help others regardless of their past voting behaviour. But yeah, the money's not going to flow. They're looking at other options, but events are going to overtake. So I'm really feeling that the government is not going to reopen. Not going to reopen. And there's that again, the Eight of Cups walking away. I get the feeling that it's not going to reopen, and then we're going to end up with this interim government. So let me have a look. Is this what I'm seeing? Is this right? Is the government going to stay closed and it's going to be taken over by this interim government, dysfunctional government? I mean, in Australia, with our Governor General and our monarch in another country. Oh, speaking of which, Prince Andrew got stripped from Prince. He's now just simply Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, I think it is, and he's been tossed out of the lodge that he was staying in, the housing that he was staying in. So he's going to go and shack up in one of Charles's houses. Okay, because Charles at the end of the day is his brother. We've got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom there. My question was, is going to have this interim government? So what I was going to say is, in Australia, the government would have been dismissed and we would have had to have gone to another election already by our superior. They would have dismissed the whole government. It's non-functional. Right, the Hanged Man. Nothing is going to move. Nothing is moving. Nothing is going anywhere. Looking at things from a different point of view, but just everything is ground to a halt. We've got the Queen of Swords as the challenge. This can be about, remember she was up there, Queen of Swords, it can be about a new strategy, having to come up with a new strategy, a new legal strategy at the foundation, because the money is just not getting to where it's meant to be going. This is very much about holding on to the money, the energy that it's stewing in at the moment, the energy it's sitting in. The government is not, I believe the funds are there for SNAP to be distributed, but the government, under the order of the Orange Twerp, is refusing to do so. The regime. This is just everything grinding to a halt. In the past, the plan coming to fruition. This was the plan. The ship's coming in. And I've been saying this for, 18 months or longer, that if this Orange Twerp was allowed to get into the White House, then he would find a way to rule by decree, rule by executive order. So this is all part of the plan, keeping the government shut down. And here is the Orange Twerp himself, or how he likes to see himself. Sees himself. He's just pretty much just grifting, bribery. I believe he's cut immigration to 7,500 in total, down from 125,000 previously. And apparently the majority of those are going to be coming in as white South Africans. So, please, I wonder how much they pay him to get an immigration visa. But yeah, it's just about money, 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 money. The immediate future, the devil, those that tied themselves to the devil, the addiction, the beastly ghastliness, the cruelty being the point, the choosing to not break free. But yeah, the devil. But another way of looking at it is the devil will always have his due. So be careful about chaining yourself to the devil. Externally, we've got again this Three of Cups, which was the outcome up here, the circles of support, or women coming together potentially. Internally, so basically what I'm asking is will this shift in government happen before it even reopens? So you've got some guardrails here, beaten and bruised, back up against the wall. Hopes and fears. Here's this cup again. The offer being rejected. I don't even think it would matter if the Dems came to the table and said, yes, we accept your offer, because they don't want to open government up again. I said that before the closure. Right, heartbreak, loss, despair, treason, something unexpected coming out of left field, and then the Ace of Swords piercing through the crown. There's going to be, this card. I mean, it could be the Orange Twerp having his vascular event and being confined to a dark grey, a grey corridor, dribbling and muttering to himself. But I think this is treason. There's going to be something unexpected come forward that cuts through the status quo and brings a new start. Secrets being revealed with the Moon card about contracts and agreements. We've got the Temperance card, volatile information coming forward about money changing hands. Can also be the pausing of the money. Homeland security, the Queen of Pentacles, Homeland security, manipulation with the Magician, and then we've got the King of Swords. Dark money, secrets revealed, and whistleblowers. Okay, coming in from overseas, let me put it that way. There's going to be this loss and disappointment. It's to do with vote flipping. There's going to be some sort of announcement from the White House, but endings, the voter, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. I don't think the government's going to open up before there is, let me have a look. Just a couple of cards, guys. Is the current regime going to be ousted for treason? Something's going to get rejected. There's that Four of Cups again. They're trying to, they can't, the Republicans can't get, well, not all the Republicans, Mikey of the Little Johnson, the regime can't get this messaging, this plan to safety before it comes to an end. I just keep getting they can't. Let's have a look. Will the regime be ousted before the government gets reopened? Will this regime be ousted before the government gets reopened. Out in the cold, Star and Judgment. Right, those that are going to be financially disenfranchised are going to bring forward their right of democracy, and you've got a big judgment moment. You've got the devil. I mean, yes, yes, and yes. The devil trying to hang on to the money, but it's coming to an end. The legacy is coming to an end. There's that Three of Cups again. I don't know who these three women are, but is this regime going to be ousted before the government reopens? I'm going to have to say yes. We've got the Four of Swords. We've got the treason card, retreat, treason, follow the money trail, nightmare situation. We've got be careful what you wish for because information is being revealed about money, and you've got the big stick. I'm going to have to say yes. I'm going to have to say this is long haul stuff. Please, 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 this is very much about community. And it's going to lead me into my next reading about the US having to break before before this ends. It's going. We've been presented with many opportunities. But I'm going to do this next reading. Okay, and I've got a bit of a story there as well. So love to you all. I shall catch you shortly.